Hello and welcome to my channel Conversation Corner. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you understand that I'm really fascinated by this idea of how language affects our worldview. And based on this, today I wanted to talk about how we can combat the us versus the world frame, right? Where you feel the world is a very big bad place and you have to carve your name in this world or you have to fight really hard. I've tried to understand this concept for a while that has been taught by J. Krishnamurti that you are the world. Thinking that you're something different from the world is an illusion because if you refer to the world as what you see around you, then you're even seeing yourself. So you, as an observer, are not different from what you're observing. Taking that in mind, we do need some practical, actionable steps to help this belief become a part of who we are. We can hold beliefs and still not practice them and thereby not understand them completely. Let us remember to know is to be is to do. So, today I wanted to talk about the topic of whose failure are you going to take responsibility for? Now, we understand in personal development videos, it's all about personal responsibility, personal responsibility. And while that's a very good idea, we need to expand this to collective responsibility. So the question now becomes whose failures are we taking responsibility for? Normally, we take full responsibility for what we do. However, if we want to be inclusive and if we want to break down this idea of me versus the world, we have to understand ourselves as the world. So, whoever is part of our surroundings is part of us too. And if someone else around us struggles, that does have to mean that we struggle. So, if you see someone struggling really bad as yourself struggling bad, that is when you'll start improving your environment, right? Let's say right now you're facing a lot of pressure at work and you're trying to find a solution to that. And 3 months down the line, you were able to do that, and now you're in a very good place. Are all your colleagues in the same place? Maybe not. Maybe some of them struggle with the same problems that you had a few months back. You seeing yourself as your colleague can understand that you're not in a good position because your colleague is not in a good position. What you could do in this instance is have a word with them, let them know how you faced these problems when you faced them and what you did to overcome them. Once you share this with someone else and once you take responsibility for their growth, that's how you will expand from your very small I to the larger we. And when other people start succeeding because of you, instead of feeling envy, you're going to feel a lot of pride. This concept is going to take time to sink into you because first everyone looks out for themselves because you operate in your own mind body, right? Which is why your needs are always going to come first. However, a lot of us do have a lot left after taking care of our own needs, which is why it is a very good idea to ask yourselves whose failure am I taking responsibility for or whose growth am I taking responsibility for. When it's something more than you that you're taking responsibility for, your energy levels to help that thing come to fruition go up a lot because now you are not just invested in yourself. It will seem a bit counterintuitive at first. You may want to ask yourself, how is it possible that fighting for someone else will make me fight much harder than I fight for myself? You've trained yourself all this while as you've grown up in a very competitive environment which fosters envy and which fosters zero sum thinking mentality that taking care of yourself is what's going to give you the highest form of energy, but that's not necessarily the case if you try this out. Think about whose growth do you want to take responsibility for. You may be at a stage where you understand things better looking back in the rearview mirror, but someone else does not because they have just started over there. So if you take responsibility for someone else who was where you once were, you'll expand the sense of self. Now you simply doesn't become you, it becomes you and that other person, and you become invested in that other person's growth. Once you do that, energy sources get unlocked, and you live a much richer and deeper life in some sense. So don't stop at individual responsibility, expand the definition to collective responsibility, and see how that works for you.